know you watch me every night, and I just can't resist the urge to stand here in the light. Your greedy eyes upon me, and then I come undone, and I could close the curtain.
Of course, to visit the Me to Lead merchandise booth. Get ready to dance, cheer, and to get inspired, because this is We Day. Check out booths on we.org to relive your favorite moments. That's all, folks. Have a great day. Side effects of We Day may include creative thinking, new ideas, and extreme inspiration.
Treaty 6.
Good morning. On behalf of the member nations of the Saskatoon Tribal Council, I'd like to welcome you all to our traditional territory Treaty Number 6 area. I am joined by our elder and vice chief, as well as a couple of youth ambassadors. This morning we offered prayers wishing you every success as you realize your full potential. The future of Aboriginal children in this country shouldn't be any different than anyone else's. Yet too often racism, prejudice, ignorance, persist. Aboriginal children don't have the same access to education and in many cases to food and shelter as many of you. You can help change this. We're encouraging you to consider joining the We Stand Together campaign and start the conversation about a future that includes all of us. In the spirit of truth and reconciliation, we ask the Many Nations Dance Troupe and the Young Buck Singers to render us a song and a dance to heal us all. Hoka!
Oh my God, I love it. The Montesquieu dancers. They were here last year.
It's infusion. This morning, as I was looking for the comics, I saw this article in the paper that I just can't stop thinking about, that I had to tell you about. Mr. Fedrigoni, thank you for letting me get up here. This article I saw, it was of a boy from Pakistan, all the way on the other side of the world. He's our age. His name is Iqbal Masih. But his life was nothing like ours. Iqbal was sold into slavery at 4 years old. He was forced to work 14 hours a day. He was even chained to one of the machines. But Iqbal was able to get away, and he started speaking out, telling people what had happened to him, so that people knew that child slavery was happening everywhere. But this week, Iqbal was killed. He was shot for speaking out. This is not okay. This is injustice. Here in Canada, we get to go to school every day, go to soccer practice, hang out with our friends. Every kid should be able to do these things. But this kid, Iqbal, he didn't have any of that. Imagine how many other kids don't have any of that. When Iqbal tried to get people to listen to him, when he tried to change his life and the lives of his friends, he was killed for speaking out. I don't know what to do, but I know that it's not fair that Iqbal had to die. And I know that I'm here, and that you're all here too. And I believe that we can do something about this. And I know that we can do something about this. Who's going to help me?
Good morning, Wheaton! I'm so excited to be back here in Saskatchewan. It has been 20 years since what you saw at Elliott do took place when I stood in front of Mr. Federagoni in my grade 7 class. And so to all the educators here today, thank you for making such a huge impact in the lives of students. All the students here, would you please stand? Would you please stand? Would you please stand? Would you please stand? And thank their teachers with a huge round of applause. You're incredible teachers. High five to your teachers.
Where's our teachers? Oh, over there.
Thank you, teachers. Please grab a seat. When we first started our work, we had a huge goal to inspire a generation of young people to create a better world. Now, we didn't know it at the time, but we were taking on some pretty massive challenges. There's two main reasons why people often don't act to solve the problems in our world, why people don't act to help others. The first reason is people often don't feel connected. We know that bullying is a problem, but it's happening to somebody else. We know that refugees need our help, but they're so far away. You know, the second reason why people don't often act to help others is that they're overwhelmed by the massive challenges facing our world. What can I do as only one person to help the 1 billion children living in abject poverty? You know, what can I do as one person to help the 900,000 Canadians across the country who rely on food banks so they don't go to bed hungry? When people do not feel connected. When people feel overwhelmed. This leads into a world divided into me and you. Into us and them. But this is not our world. This is not our world because we know that all of us gathered here today at We Day, we see the world differently. We know that together, no problem is too big. Together, we'll ensure that our voices are heard as one. And let's work together for a common goal. I'm going to count to 3, and then I'm going to say the word clap. And when I count to 3 and say clap, I want you to all get your hands out. We're going to clap together. You guys ready? Warm up your hands. Warm up your hands. Ready? 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. See how powerful it can be when we all clap together? One more time. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. We know that by working together, people will hear us. They'll take notice to us. So if you're willing to help lead this movement in your school, in your community, on the count of 3, I want you to make this arena shake. In fact, when I count to 3, I want you to stomp your feet as loudly as you can if you're ready. 1, 2, 3. Louder!
Oh yeah.
Perfect. is amazing. That is the sound of 15,000 commitments to change our world. We are a community coming together to create a tidal wave of impact. We are raising our voices and we're creating the world that we all wish to see. We are unstoppable in shaping the future. Now, if you're ready to be the change, we want you to get up on your feet, get up on your feet, get up on your feet. Okay, now, so we are all part of a proud and loud community here. So I'm going to ask you to put your hand up in the air, put your hand up, your right hand up in the air, and we're going to create a we sign with those 3 fingers, a we sign. And I want you to get as loud as you can for 5 seconds. I want you to make as much noise as you can, starting now. Something very special. We want you to make a commitment together to create a better world. Keep your hands up and repeat 3 important personal statements with us. The first one, and repeat after me. We are powerful.
We are powerful.
We are determined.
We are determined.
We are a movement.
We are a movement.
Well done. Grab a seat. By coming together, we will tackle the most pressing challenges of our time. We'll make sure that the voice of this generation is heard. We will transform education. We will fight hunger. And we will end poverty forever. When we ask you to repeat those phrases, we are powerful. We are determined. We are a movement. Please realize that those are more than just words. These are 3 powerful lessons that we've learned over the past 20 years. So that first lesson is we are powerful. So when you stand up against a bully, when you defend the new kid in class, or when you fundraise for a clean water project for a family overseas, you become a hero to help those in need. And that second lesson is we are determined. Oh, we are determined. There are 2.3 million young people all around the world involved in this collective movement every year. And together we volunteered over 14.6 million hours of service. Make some noise. Over 10 million pounds of food for local food banks. And through fundraising efforts all across this country, together we built over 1,000 schools and schoolhouses around the world. Guys, together we've transformed millions of lives both at home and abroad. All of this through the power of our determination. And the third lesson is we are a movement. You know, some people not in this stadium, but some people, they often look and they wonder why someone doesn't act. You know, why someone out there doesn't ensure that all girls and boys have a chance to go to school, or to help refugees find a safe place when they arrive in Canada. You know, the truth is, in this stadium, we don't wonder. In fact, we don't wait, we act. And that's why we are committed as a movement to changing this world. And today we have come together. Today we've come together to celebrate the most powerful force in human history. Today we celebrate you. You are a generation of young people with the passion, the commitment, the enthusiasm, and are ready to change the world. So we're going to ask you to get up off your seats. Get up off your seats one more time. Because we want to start the We Day with the energy, the passion, and the noise to echo around the world. Get your We signs up one more time. Your We signs up one more time. Are you guys ready? Are you guys? Okay, repeat after us those powerful lessons one more time. Ready, here we go. We are powerful.
We are powerful.
We are determined.
We are determined.
We are a movement.
We are a movement.
Well done, We Day. Have a great We Day, guys. We'll see you
I'm Spencer West, and this morning we're going to focus on the Me Stop. Stop 1 is imagine the possibilities.
And I'm Aislinn Paul, and I will be guiding you through Stop 2 as we accept the challenge.
I am Jessie Crookshank, and at Stop 3, we cross over into the world of we, and together we share with others.
What's up, We Day? My name is Tyrone Edwards, and I will be with you on your last stop of the day, which is all about building community.
Good morning, We Day. Have you ever laid on the grass at night and stared up at the sky thinking, what's it like out there? We've been asking this question forever. Thousands of years ago, people in ancient Greece, China, India, and Egypt were transfixed by the sky. So they began noting their observations, which eventually led to astronomy. And we've carried on sending over 2,000 satellites in orbit, inventing telescopes that can map out the galaxy, even taking a step on the moon itself. But now we're doing things like going to Mars. And we're not just going there to capture footage or take a step. People are going to live there, to build homes and grow gardens and start families. We went from studying the patterns of the stars to preparing for life on Mars. But what comes next? Where will our imagination take us? Anywhere. All we have to do is imagine the possibilities. But what exactly is the imagination? It's the birthplace of all ideas, where we see beyond the answers in front of us and think outside of the box. It's the moment we daydream, creating worlds that don't exist yet. It's seeing possibilities where others see limits. It's asking, what if? And it's ignited when we're inspired by something, when we feel a spark, when a thought or an issue triggers an idea of what is possible. And those ideas can be as big as building a civilization on Mars, or as simple as picturing our report card full of A's. Now, our imaginations let us believe that anything is possible no matter what logic dictates. I lost my legs to a genetic disorder when I was 5, and I was told I wouldn't be a functioning member of society. Logic might tell us that people without legs can't drive cars or climb mountains. But someone dreamed up a car for people like me, and lo and behold, I've driven across the country, and I made it to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And the wonderful thing about the imagination is that it can be used to envision better worlds for ourselves and for others. Think of the fight for equality, whether it be basic human rights, racial, gender, or who we love. Our imagination shows us that a world where everybody is treated equally is possible. We can get there. Now, every social movement starts with an idea. For Craig, it was a world without child slavery, but that wasn't enough. These kids and their families needed empowerment. What was education without clean water or proper health care? What about a steady food supply or family's income source? That idea paved the way for the creation of sustainable communities, and Adopt a Village was born. Now, Craig's imagination was sparked by an article, but your spark can come from anywhere. Beethoven's Sixth Symphony was inspired by his hikes in Vienna from taking in the sights and sounds of forests and bird calls. And James Naismith wanted to give his rowdy students an outlet in the dead of a cold, wet winter, and basketball was born. And just a couple of years ago, Lord's song Royals was inspired by a photo of a baseball player with a Kansas City Royals jersey on. Your spark could be anything and everything. So dream big, dream really big. Let your mind run wild with endless possibilities. One day we'll be looking back at a world before there was a cure for cancer, before every child had the right and access to an education. And when that day comes, it'll be thanks all to your imagination. Now, throughout the day, we're going to hear from our friends at Potash Corp, who help make We Day Saskatchewan possible. They're so excited to see your imaginations run wild, and that's why they're providing 20 Saskatchewan youth with a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a Potash Corp youth trip to Kenya. And one of those 20 trips will be drawn today. Now, it's easy. During lunch, just bump into the Potash Corp kiosk to enter, and the winner will be revealed this afternoon. Now, today we're going to put a spotlight on different moments from a volunteer trip in Kenya to give us all the opportunity to really understand our local and global connection. Let's take a look at our first spotlight. This is a recently built schoolroom. Now, because of the work of young people like you, the students in the community of Amorijoy have the opportunity to learn and grow with one another, spark their imaginations, and reach their potential. You could be one of those young people building a schoolroom just like this, and any of you. Now, just remember to bump in at the kiosk, the Potash Corp kiosk over lunch. That's pretty cool, right? Yeah, I think so. We'll see more of these spotlights throughout the day, but right now I wanted to introduce you to our friend Mercy from Arawaso, Kenya. Let's take a look.
I was 11 years old when my father passed away. The year after, my mother went away and left me alone with my siblings. I was the elder sister, so I had to do all the roles of a mother, but they were suffering. We were suffering from hunger. Our livestock were dying because there were no crops to feed them. The drought was all over. The hunger was all over. I look at my siblings and wonder, what will I do for them? In the morning, I would wake up and go to people's houses and ask to braid their hair. They would give me some food. I would take it home and share with my siblings. It was a very small amount, enough to sustain us for that day only. It was a sad moment because we missed our mother so much. I was not happy. All my other classmates were attending school, and me, I was just staying at home. The day I received the letter from Oreresho School, I ran up and down, rejoicing and said that now I'm going to fulfill my dreams. It was a happy, happy moment for me. I want to learn about agriculture so that I can share this knowledge with my community so we can avoid this issue of hunger.
The Apollo 11 landing, the very first human landing on the moon. I watched it on television. And at the time, 9 years old, I didn't really know the first thing about the reality of space exploration. I didn't know even if Canada had a space program. But I watched Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin land on the moon from the comfort of my family's little cottage in southern Ontario. And I knew one thing. I knew that day I wanted to be an astronaut. And what many of you know, and it's something I'm very proud of, is that I achieved that goal. I've been part of 3 space missions. And I've been the commander of the International Space Station, and I was the first Canadian to ever walk in space. But what often gets overlooked is how. It's the journey that I took to get there. Before I boarded my first shuttle, before I ever flew in space, I spent countless days and nights dreaming about that first moment and planning it every step of the way, planning how I could make this possible, how I was going to get there. So I think it's really fitting that today is all about your journey. It's about you and how you are going to get there. I can tell you from my experience that the end result can be amazing, but nothing, and I want you to listen to this, nothing is more important than what you are doing right now to get there. Every single one of us has a goal, something that we dream about achieving, or something we want to experience, or someone we want to become. And there's one thing that you need to make it all real: motivation. Motivation at first. My motivation was the wonder of seeing the world. But I quickly realized that that would only bring me so far. I needed to embrace the complexity of preparing for it. And that is what really set me on the journey of my life. I held on to the wonder, the dream of it, that I had when I was a 9-year-old boy. Picture me sitting there with the glow of the television set on my face, watching those first footprints settle on the dusty, rocky surface of the moon. But I focused on the work it was going to take. The early mornings of training, the late nights of studying. It took patience, and I had to make choices. It took sacrifices. But I knew that this was going to be worth it. Having goals and having dreams is essential, but don't take even one single day for granted in the preparation that it takes to get there. And when I shot beyond the Earth's atmosphere, every textbook I'd ever studied, every friend I'd made, every dream I ever had came along with me inside the spaceship. And you think about who you are. You are more than the grades on your tests. You are more than the groups that you hang out with. You are the sum total of every single decision that you make. Every day. So be intentional in your education and be intentional in your work. You can shape your journey by staying connected to what you're truly passionate about. And if you're dedicated, you will go far beyond any stars that you once thought were out of reach. And for me, my connection to music is a tool that's helped guide my sense of direction my whole life. Music has always been something that has kept me grounded in my passions, whether I'm here in Saskatoon or whether I'm out in space. So, how about a song? This is a song I wrote and recorded up on the International Space Station. It is a wild ride, so you better hold on tight. We're on the upside, and maybe it sounds alright. Where we're going, we cannot run. Everyone sees there's a lot that we have not done, but it's working for me. Here we go. And I don't turn left, and I don't turn right, and I don't slow down anymore. And I don't climb up, and I can't fall down. My feet are touching the floor. Round once more. Stop and set sail. I'm hanging on to my fingertips. Juice did not feel fine. The mission is go. Do 1,000 front flips. 'Cause who'll ever know? And I don't turn left, and I don't turn right, and I don't slow down anymore. And I don't climb up, and I can't fall down. My feet are touching the floor. And I don't turn left, and I don't turn right, and I don't slow down anymore. And I don't climb up, and I can't fall down. My feet are touching the floor. Round once more. My feet up off the floor. Take good care of yourself. Thank you, Lee.
My book, I got a whole world to explore. I won't be a bore. Love's infectious, it's about it for sure. Can't you see me back war? Don't stop me. I'll cross the place being disgrace. Now you can't relate to my everyday life. I was doing it right till you came along and broke my stride. Falling behind, I'm drowning out. With love on my woman's couch. Jesus, why you gotta be so loud? Every beat I wanna make you shout. Oh, 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 I love it when you wear that sweater. Oh, 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 I love it when you wear that sweater.
electric guitar. His name is Callum Maudsley, and he's gonna play the guitar for you right now. Let's go!
What a crowd. Thank you all for accepting the call for change and for coming together to tell us to create the Call for Change music video. Let's keep the momentum going and make this video go viral. Watch it on tellus.com/weday. Share it with your networks, and for every share, Tellus will give $10 to feed the children.